Good evening, race fans, and welcome to BSTV. Excuse me, this is the BSTV TCR Challenge. Season 10, rounds 13 and 14, brought to you from Sandown. As ever, it is myself in the booth, Pete of Bingham, with Sir Alan Toon, also with me in the booth. Good evening, Sir Alan.
Good evening, Pete, and very nice to be here in the sunshine of Australia.
Absolutely, it's better than the weather that I'm experiencing here in the north of Britain at the moment. On the cameras and doing all the brilliant stuff is Sam, who says hello. He's busy doing stuff in the background to make us look even more professional than normal. Joining later and taking over from me will be Clyde. I am sleep deprived, so if I'm talking more nonsense than normal, hard to believe I know, then please pity me because I have not slept very much. So, Sandown, it's quite a flat track, isn't it, Alan? Although the curbs are not.
No, it might be flat, but it's definitely a handful, this place. There's plenty to do. It feels like a short circuit, and because there's so much happening, there's not an awful lot of time between these some really quite acute, vicious curbs and some vicious corners as well. It's a handful in any car, and these front-wheel drive cars lap it up around here.
Have you done much racing in anger around Sandown then?
Not a lot of racing. I've done quite a lot of practice laps there. I've done a few races, but not in a TCR. But I've done some practice laps in the TCR. By God, it kicks back. The force feedback is so powerful on these cars and through the front wheel and the curves. It's a handful to drive. These guys are going to have their work cut out, and there's not an awful lot of time off on this lap.
No. I mean, there are some massive straights, aren't there? Two of them in particular. There's one leading up to the penultimate corner that is a bit shorter. I think we just saw it in shot there. But we're making our way around a track like this. You have quite a long start-finish straight. It leads into a nearly 90-degree left-hander, which is a challenge on lap one for sure, and possibly a challenge due to the size of the curve on the inside for all the rest of the laps. Then you've got quite a tight chicane, which leads into another 90-degree left-hander, onto an enormous back straight and a sweeping left-hander into an open chicane, and then another 90-degree left-hander. So the one side of the car takes a great degree of punishment around here, Alan.
It certainly does, and these curbs make these corners hard work if you just misjudge them slightly. And they're vicious little corners. You really have to treat them carefully. If on this course they're going to go side by side through some of these twisty little bends, and it's a hairy old business.
It is. So, let's talk about the championship. There's a few drivers here tonight that haven't been for a little while. Simon Trendle's back with us. Clearly he's got a VR headset now that works, which is brilliant news for us. Probably not such good news for the other racers because he's extremely proficient. And then Spencer McCarthy's with us again. He's not been here for a couple. Which means that there's going to be a bit of scrapping goes on tonight, Alan.
Yes, looking forward to it, actually. This is a scrapper's track, isn't it, really?
Oh, this one is, definitely. Coming out of corners with a bit of a run. You're not going to think twice about stuffing it down the inside at the end of a long straight, are you? You're going to make it work for yourself. So, championship-wise, Sam Blees is your championship leader. We'll include drop scores now because we're fast approaching the end of this season, to be honest. 12 rounds, obviously. So he has, with his drop score, got 645 points. Stephen Walker is in second place at the moment with 624. So there's not a lot in it. The rush for the top is still on. Even when you look down to third with Jamie Wilson, 561. That door is fully open as well. Yes, it's 60 points, but all it takes, as we saw last time when Sam had a bit of a bad couple of races, or one race in particular, it can open the door for anybody, Alan. You got Carl Hardy, your hero, in fourth, won 532 points. So he's got a chance of definitely a podium. And he's not that far, really, off second place when you think about it.
No, there's still lots to fight for, isn't there?
Oh, this one's wide open, Alan. This is probably one of the closest ones series that I've seen. I think we've just gone through the end of qualifying there, and we have. So that didn't last very long at all. Spencer McCarthy is your poleman for tonight for Geodesic Racing on a 1:14.734. Cal Hardy, we've just spoken about him, in second place, or going off in second, rather. For Safeguard by Result, Stephen Walker will go off third for Spectre 6 Purple. I know. Matt Elmore off fourth for Spectre 6 Silver, with Sam Blees in fifth, going off there for Geodesic Racing. So in the top five there are all of the key protagonists for the top of the championship. What a fantastic grid we've got already.
Oh, it's handsome.
Isn't it just? We've also got 17 races tonight, so it's going to be a busy track. Simon Trendle will go off sixth for Team Chimera, and his teammate will go off seventh, Jamie Wilson. Chris Needham will go off eighth for RWC Racing Red. Ninth will be Jason Morris for iRace Esports. Arnaud Chenonnier will go off 10th for RWC Racing Red, behind his teammate. Stefan Goebel, probably, I'd say, out of position, but he might not be very well practiced on Sandown for VTS Esports. He's usually higher up than that. 12th will be JB Dejoux for BSTV Esports Blue. 13th will be Matt Flannery for Geodesic. 14th will be Roger Morton. 15th will be Kylie Haddington. 16th will be Tony Walker. And at the back of the field there somewhere will be Andrew Littler. So quite a grid. It's going to be quite a dash for the first turn, I think. And we don't get a full lap here, which is why I rushed through the end of that field. There we go. There's the bottom half of it for everybody on the broadcast.
Times were tight, weren't they, in quality? So
there wasn't much in it. I mean, one full second, I think, covered most of them. As they come streaming through this final penultimate chicane, there is another chicane before we get to the end of the lap. Under the Penrite Bridge there. The exit for pit road, onto pit road rather, exit of the track, is just here. Now, that's going to be a feature in the second race where they have to pit. This is a sprint race for 30 minutes. They don't have to pit. And so we are ready to race. Flagman is up, and
they're bunching
right up here.
They're bunching here. Goodness. Well, that's going to.
And we are
change.
Go, Alan.
Yeah, it's
and
going to
in fact,
dynamic here, isn't it? At the first corner.
I would say so. Stephen Walker is bolted to Spencer's boot there.
Oh, there's Carl's gone for it. He's not waiting. He's not hanging around. Oh.
He's not, but he's gone very wide at the first turn.
Oh, goodness me.
So I think he's going to get mugged for maybe not. Maybe he'll keep this.
They're just tight on. I don't think there's any room for anybody to get by.
No, we've got Chimera cars coming through behind. I think that was Jamie Wilson affecting a pass. And the stampede goes on. So Spencer's got himself a little bit of air. Stephen Walker is hot on his heels. And then Sam Blees and the rest of the field follow. Carl is on the outside there. He's going to lose that place, and he's down 2 positions now from the start. Oh, Spencer!
Oh, Spencer!
I think that was curb. I think he's hit the curb and into the wall. He's absolutely ruined his suspension with whatever happened. Let's have a look at this. He's gone sideways over the curb and then lost it. So, not what I initially thought. Hoping that Stephen hasn't picked up damage. Yeah.
Didn't look too bad, did it?
But, 3 wide.
Oh, these This is a hardy bunch of racers. You're going to get this all over the place, and this is a dangerous track.
Yeah, nobody's giving up. Nobody's giving up. Look.
I mean, look at these corners. Are really fantastic. They're really challenging. They're real racers' corners. You know, you've got to be on it, otherwise you're in trouble.
Yeah, Jamie Wilson there losing a position, and Arnaud Chenonnier gaining 2, all in the space of one corner, really.
So easy to bash the wall there.
Yeah.
You're in close contact with those walls every time you come round. You know, there's no avoiding it. The good line is going to take you within inches of the anchor every time.
Yeah, it is.
Not a lot of room for error. Now,
none at all, really.
Great.
Oh, no!
Oh,
who's that?
Stephen.
Is that Stephen Walker? Did he take too much damage from nudging into Spencer? Here's Spencer trying to make his way around to the pits. That was earlier. And this is the same turn that Spencer lost it on. And Stephen's done the same thing. Oh my God.
Oh.
Well.
What a spinner that was.
There's not much left of the car. I mean, I know he's got a fast repair, but that's a tow back to the pits anyway. So he's done almost an identical error, but with much more dramatic consequences, as Spencer McCarthy. Wow. You couldn't even write that. Right, is Sable's just going to explode then? Because, you know, I took these guys up before the race. They're slinging it into the furniture. So, this is your lead pack. What's going on? Alan, help me out. What's going on, mate?
Matt's in front and very, very happy to be there. Carl is still now in second position, like from his grid position, but what a way to get into second place.
Yeah,
Talk about a convoluted thing, but now this is a different story.
It is. I don't know whether anybody's going to come and join us from the other two guys. I guess they're going to get back on track. And oh, that's Stefan.
Oh dear.
Has somebody greased the track at that corner? Because that's the same corner again. We're going to have to watch this one now. Have you been out there with the butter?
Yes. But I didn't like to say.
That curb got him. The first curb made him bounce and straighten up.
I've got to say, I did a few practice laps last week, and that happened to me on numerous occasions.
Right. You should have told these guys.
The same thing. Well, I was just assuming it wasn't happening to them.
Right. Right, we've seen 2 full races worth of crashes. All on the same series of corners.
There's Roger.
I can't believe it.
Roger's mixing it up at the back there with JB.
Well, they're not at the back really anymore. They're kind of in the middle now.
Yes, they're middle ones. But their pace demands that anyway, to be honest. There aren't any back ones for this bunch, really.
No.
They're all middle runners.
Spencer appears to be back in... Is he back in the pits again?
Oh, this is unfortunate. No, he's on track.
Oh, no, yeah, there he is. Right, okay. He's managed to come out behind Stephen Walker, which I don't understand because he crashed first. Maybe his tow time was less, I don't know. But
it was longer, yeah. Or his repairs maybe had a different repair. Have we got a fast repair? Seen the fast repair?
Oh, yeah, there's a fast repair. That's why they're both back out.
Yeah.
But if you'd come to me... Is it Andrew?
That's Andy.
Yeah, Andrew Littler there. Yet another victim of Sandown, maybe. So he gets it straightened up. It doesn't look damaged. He's just spun it, maybe.
He spun it.
Yeah. If you'd asked me which 3 drivers are going to crash on the first 2 laps, I would not have guessed Stephen, Spencer and Stefan. I just wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't have been my first choice either. But there they are, and they've been caught out by the conditions and probably putting a lot of pressure on each other. It's great to see Spencer back in the mix, isn't it?
Definitely.
And we've got Simon back as well. So it's a bit of a shame that all this has happened so early in the race. I wanted to see them battling, but we've still got the feature race to come. And maybe this is going to work out all the bogies in this early sprint race, and we'll have a flaw-free feature race where all the bad luck's gone on out of it, and that would be great, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah. And I don't know whether I don't think it's exclusively an Audi thing, Stephen Walker's posting the fastest lap of the race just then. But 2 Audis have succumbed to curbs, and Sam Blease doesn't look too comfortable going over the curbs either. So I'm not sure if there's something in my thought processes there. Good evening to David Ayres. Sam's busy doing stuff on on the screen, and now I can't see my own screen. Oh no, that's me, is it? I don't know. Right, so we'll ignore that. Maybe I clicked something I shouldn't have done. Right, so here we go. This is for the lead. I did I? Excellent, right. Carl Hardy and Matt Elmore. Or Matt Elmore and Carl Hardy, let's get it chronologically correct. Is that right? I have no idea. Just talking nonsense now. So Sam Blease has finally got rid of the attentions of Simon Trendle. They've both moved up due to the lack of Stephen Walker and Spencer in front of them. This is Kylie having a good look in the mirrors of Roger Morton.
Very close on pace, and they'll be relishing a good battle. The pair of them, they like a good battle, and they're well similar in time. So if Kylie can keep in the tow, it'll be a bit of fun for both of them. They like to battle.
Yes. Yep, they do.
There's been a lot of really great action in the middle of the races in the last few races. We've had a lot in the middle order. There's a good, exciting bunch of drivers. Just kind of a 3/4 of a second off the pace, and they're really good drivers, and they provide a lot of entertainment in the field.
David Ayres says it looks like Matt must have a nice hot pie in the back window of his car.
Well, he'll be racing being in front of... Oh, won't he?
Yeah. I think that's the reference. So this is that Spencer catching up on the back of the field there? I think it was. So that's explaining why I see a geodesic car there. Or is that Mr. No, it's not Mr. Bonner. Yeah, that's... Yeah, 1 lap down, Spencer McCarthy closing in on the back of these two. So he's going to mix that up. I just couldn't get a good shot of his windscreen banner. So up the inside there, and nice and clean and efficient through. No less than we expect from Spencer. And then here we go. So Sam Blease has found Carl Hardy on track.
Yes. So now, how Carl is going to fight, because Sam's got pace, but Carl has been finding pace, hasn't he, recently? He's not the pushover he was a couple of seasons ago.
No, and we've seen the Audi running out of top-end speed at certain tracks. I don't know whether these straights, maybe this one is, long enough for it to top out. Oh no, I'm at the wrong point on the track.
So, if it does, it's not enough, not for long enough to matter, I don't think.
Yeah, true.
And normally you get the kickback that you're slightly better around the corners. Now, if that's the case here and better on the curves, then you're on the winning side of the equation this time.
Yeah, and Sam Blease not enjoying a portion of the track just then, because these two pulled away from him in their Elantras. Here's Matt Flannery on Chris Needham. A little nudge there. Don't know why Chris needed to turn in as early as he did. There was definitely a car there. And Kylie has just done Roger Morton. So, where's Spencer? Is he that far ahead of these guys already? Yeah, he is. Oh, who was that in the wall? Tony Walker, was it?
Tony?
I saw a flash of Tony Walker, I think.
Yes. Oh, unfortunately. It's not the same corner again, is it?
Hopefully not. I mean, it's cursed, that corner, isn't it? That's a big bit of curb, and it is that series of corners, is it?
Same one.
No, it's a bit further back round the track.
They're almost identical, and they're very awful.
Yeah, turn 3 according to race director. This one.
You will know.
So Jamie Wilson closing down Arnaud Chenonnier, who's having a great race. 5th place, up 5 positions from his start. I mean, that's epic. Matt Flannery also up 5 positions. Jason Haddington up 5 positions. We do have to account for Stephen Walker, Spencer McCarthy, and Stefan Goebel, who are down a number of positions, obviously.
Is that because of conditions, or what is exactly happening?
Four drivers have independently had issues. 3 of them have found the walls, all at the same corner. So, and then one getting a big bounce at that corner there. We did speak about the curbs in advance, so everybody was fully warned by us, Alan. They can't say we didn't say anything. Let's talk about the teams whilst JB Dejoux works on Roger and Jamie works on Arnaud Chenonnier. Geodesic Racing lead the way as JB's pulled out, ready to make a pass to interrupt my running through the team standing. Made that pass.
He's doing great, isn't he? Because
he's doing brilliantly.
Really, these last couple of weeks, honestly.
Spec 6 Purple are 2nd place. 180 points behind Geodesic Racing, with Safeguard by result in 3rd place. 100 points behind them or so. Then we got Spectre 6 Silver in 4th and Team Chimera in 5th. RWC Racing Red in 6th. So that race that we're looking at here, Jamie versus Arnaud, is a worthwhile battle to be having for both these teams. Ooh, that's a slow moving. Is that slow moving Roger? No. Who is that?
Roger. Oh.
It's Tony Walker. He's just
Roger's
a
still
lap down now.
out with JB. So has Tony lost the whole lap? Oh, it's unfortunate.
He has, yeah. So through these guys come, flying through these curbs. Hopefully they've learned from the lessons of the others. Couldn't believe the amount of cars off the same place. These cars, these drivers managing those curbs well, these 4. This is for the lead, 4 for the lead, Alan.
Well, they're not going to give it up, are they? These 4 it'll be fangs out, and they'll be enjoying this.
And look at that, Carl Hardy for the lead's gone very deep into that corner though. Is he going to keep it? Because the next corner is in his favour.
Yeah, he will be pushing on, and the last few weeks he's had the pace of Matt slightly.
Yes, and he's done that in fine style. That was a lovely overtake.
And just everything about Carl is a better driver this season. He's found some magic. It's worked for it and earned it. But yeah, I don't think we would have seen that 2 seasons ago. Such a neat pass over Matt. That was brilliantly done, and he's in front of what I would say, a pretty elite bunch of drivers there, and he's actually managing to keep them behind him for the minute.
He is. Sam Blease is wriggling around trying to get past Matt Elmore now. And Gary Craig on the chat says the winner of this race is going to be the person who keeps it on the track by the look of things, and I think he's absolutely right. This race has been defined by those very high curbs. It is a sprint race, and they have to move forward quickly because we're already at nearly halfway point. Oh no!
Oh,
that was a send from about a week back.
Oh dear.
I think there's going to be, well, I don't know, steward's inquiry there for sure. I mean, that was like down the bowling alley, that.
Very unusual to see a move like that.
So he's popped out of Matt Elmore's draft there. Has he just missed his break point? He has by a mile, and then tried to control it and failed. So he's misjudged his brake marker.
He will be feeling awful. And Cole will have got a large surprise seeing him right there. I
mean, that is code brown time when you get hit from nowhere like that. It makes you jump out your skin because you're not expecting a car that's way back. But wow, I mean, Yeah.
Yeah,
What
what
else
can
can
you
you say?
say?
So promoted
Yeah,
from 2 to
yeah,
lead.
he just, well, you know, that was clearly just a straightforward misjudgment, and it's cost them
Yeah.
both, hasn't it? So,
It has, yeah. And, you know, nobody's infallible. All you need to do, I mean, I've said this a few times, myself and Clyde used to, before there was like day-night transition with iRacing, we used to use shadows on the track to use as brake markers. And then wondered when the day-night transition came in why we crashed so much. Because our brake markers used to move in the middle of a race. Not quite the same now, of course. Everybody's more than used to it, but it doesn't take much. A car in the way, and you're like, "Where's that cone gone? Or where's that bit of grass? Or the brown bit of sand that I usually use?" Oh, there it goes. Oh, damn it! There you go.
a popular one with me is you're practicing, and but when you're on the circuit, there's another car on the circuit,
Yeah, how
just
dare
on the
they?
braking point that
Yeah.
you've chosen, and yeah, covering it up nicely. So yes, it's something that I've been caught out with before. Oh, I was not supposed to be braking. Ow. Yeah. But these guys,
Yeah. So,
this has
down
not
to
turned out the way I expected. This, I've got to tell you.
no, I mean Simon Trendle and particularly Arnaud Chenonnier, because he's moved up so many positions, must be thinking, you know, I'm like Moses here. I'm just moving forward, and everybody's flying off the track in various different ways. It certainly opens up the championship for some, you know, others to feature. It has to be said. I mean, I can't from so many fast drivers. David Ayres says a very rare. Yeah, I'm certain he does actually. It's just bizarre. Nobody's joined us in the interview room just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on and talk about driver of the meeting. So at the moment, Jamie Wilson leads the way with 5 votes. Stephen Walker is second with 4 in driving lately. Sam Blees on 2 with Carl Hardy on 2, so a fight for third place there. And then a few drivers on 1 vote. So Jason Morris, Spencer McCarthy, Stefan, Shane, and Roger. So, yes, we've got Simon Trendle stalking his prey now, I think. Moved slowly up onto the back of Matt Elmore's car here. Alan, well, I don't know. He's not usually shy, is he?
No, indeed not. And
The yellow banner in his windscreen shows that he is an ex-champion. Tyre walls and Armco barriers and such tonight already.
things come.
Right, I stopped for a moment. I don't know why.
I haven't got a picture at the moment.
I don't know whether Sam's having some issues out there in the world, but we'll soon find out.
Well,
Spencer still in the slipstream, but
because I could really do with a shower and something to eat.
Restream just launched again. Oh, excellent. Let's see if we can. Aha, right, okay. Oh, I've got the YouTube running. Oh, I know why. I bet I need to relaunch it, maybe. There we go. We are back with the voice, at least, folks. For those of you doing what Gary Walsh is currently doing, which is banging his TV and twisting the aerial, I get some children to hold your aerial in the air like we used to do in the 1980s. We have lost visual. Clearly, there's something between us and Sandown. Maybe a tropical storm or something. You know what it's like in Australia. We will work on getting your pictures back. But for now, we're going to do a radio broadcast. So your leader at the minute is Matt Elmore, with Simon Trendle in second by 0.4 of a second still. Jamie Wilson still leads Arnaud Chenonnier by, well, kind of nothing at all, to be honest. 0.2 of a second at the moment, 0.3 of a second actually now. So Team Chimera mopping up from the errors of others tonight. Obviously, Arnaud Chenonnier bolted to the back of Jamie's car. Jason Morris is not on his own either. So he's now got the delayed Carl Hardy, who got skittled by Sam Blees earlier, right on his six now. Chris Needham is 1 second behind them. Matt Flannery is about 2 seconds behind Chris Needham. And we've just had a change for the lead. Very, very easily done, to be honest. Matt Elmore lost it going into one of the turns, one of the chicanes, and Simon Trendle has mops up.
Yeah,
so
Matt Elmore made a massive mistake there, Pete, and just before the white flag came out as well.
Yeah, and he's I was just going to say, Barney is waving that flag. Welcome to the Terry Wogan Twilight Radio Show. Absolutely, David Ayres. If you're wondering which car Matt Elmore is in, it's the orange one next to the white one for anybody that used to watch the snooker in black and white. So further back, Roger Morton is trying to put a lot of pressure on JB Dejoux, and we think we've got picture. We've got picture. Oh, I'm going to go back to the to the main broadcast.
Yes, how awesome!
Yeah, we'll introduce our third broadcaster in a minute. But for this is a proper scrap now for the lead. Hopefully you got my radio broadcast from a minute ago and know that Simon Trendle easily took over the lead from Matt Elmore after a mistake. And Matt Elmore had sent it on himself is the best way to describe that. And here we go. This is it. So Simon Trendle takes the win from Matt Elmore with 1 lap to go, pretty much, at Sandown for our sprint race.
Wow.
Some way back will be a Jamie Wilson there in the background, who managed to finish ahead of Arnaud Chenonnier, with Carl Hardy recovering to 5th place after being taken out of the lead of the race. I don't know what the fallout is of that.
Great recovery drive by Carl.
It was really good. He's probably the highest position of all the people that had mishaps. All the mishaps were from some of the top guys, Alan.
Yes, very unusual, wasn't it? He put a very unusual look on the race, didn't it?
It certainly did. I mean,
everything around.
It's like somebody greased the track. It's the turn that we're looking at there, actually, isn't it? No, it's the one with all the tarmac on it. The one there in the background. Now that the picture has changed, we're just waiting for Stephen Walker to finish, and then the session will go official, which I think it now has. So we should be able to go to our finishing order. Obviously, back to 8th place will reverse, and we'll be able to figure out who that is shortly. I think it was Matt Flannery. Yeah, it was. All right, so your finishing order for the sprint round at Sandown was Simon Trendle took home the glory for Team Chimera, winning by nothing at all, really, over Matt Elmore for Spectre 6 silver. Couldn't see it white on white. Jamie Wilson finished third for Team Chimera as well. So Team Chimera utterly mopping up from the mistakes from other teams. Arnaud Chenonnier finished fourth for RWC Racing Red. And then we had Carl Hardy coming home in fifth, Jason Morris in sixth, Chris Needham in seventh, Matt Flannery eighth, Jason Haddington in ninth. Lots of people in that top nine getting points that they would not necessarily see because of most of what I'm going to say now, which is 10th was Sam Blees after a big incident with Carl. JB Dejoux in 11th, Roger Morton in 12th, Stephen Walker in 13th. Unlucky for him tonight. He got taken out by himself. Spencer McCarthy got taken out by himself on the same corner one lap before. Tony Walker also ended up in the wall at a different place. Andrew Littler in 16th. And Stefan Goebel, who didn't finish after crashing earlier on in the race, 17th and last. What a dramatic first race, Alan. Just crazy. And we need to introduce our guest commentator for today, which is Clyde Whiting. Good evening, Clyde.
Good evening. I prefer part-time commentator or semi-retired commentator.
It's getting on for that. In fact, we're going to bring in two racers. We're going to bring in Spencer, and we're going to bring in Sam at the same time. Sam, please. And we're going to talk about who greased the track at that turn, Spencer McCarthy. And Sam, was I right in thinking that you completely missed your braking point? So we'll start with Spencer first. What on earth is going on that turn? Three of you binned it independently, doing the same thing at that turn. What's going on?
Well, Vaseline Walker is what I'm going to call it.
Yeah. What?
I don't know. I don't know whether it can't be anything to do with the grass. It's just the cold tyres. These things are just lethal on the rears. And it was, the amount of times you go out and do a cold lap is very small because you basically want to try and get to lap 5, lap 6 to get a good time. So you only ever do that one out lap, like every now and then.
Yeah.
So I obviously that was just inexperience of the track and the settings, and I just see you later, bye.
But it was the fact that you did it, and then one lap later,
Stephen
did it, and then a few laps after that, Tony Walker went there. And we had Stefan at a completely different corner. Pilot in, I think that was turn 3. Just unbelievable tonight. Some of you fast guys having really unfortunate races. Very unusual to see because you're usually so grounded, you lot.
It's on the ragged edge of this track. It's bumpy. It's a good track actually. It's a good little flow to it. But when the car's about 3 laps old, can't really say. But it was fun getting through the field. It was.
Recovery drive was good.
Well, it didn't really get many places, but it was nice getting through.
It was certainly exciting. And then Sam, was I correct? Did you miss your braking point?
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
I was sort of.
We've all done it, haven't we?
I was using the right hand side as braking, and then I was at the inside of Matt, so I couldn't see that. So
That's I said. You called it, Alan. I got it right for once.
There you go.
I did just hear somebody call him T-Bone Blees.
Yeah, that's fair. I've been called worse. I sort of would have got it stopped, but I was trying to avoid, so I chucked it in, going, I'll just take the slowdown, I'll dive across, and that basically just stopped all braking happening because I was then sideways. So I'm really sorry to Carl. I have been to talk to him, and he's okay about it. He's taken it like a gent, which
I think
is nice of him.
Yeah, because he didn't need a cleaning bill for his seat because he would not have expected that coming. That must have made him poop himself right where he was sat. You don't expect it, do you? It would have been blindsided completely. Anyway, you guys need to get back on track. So are you all right to take yourselves back to your own booths?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us, by the way.
Yes.
Robs.
That was grand.
So, thanks to the Geodesic boys for joining us and explaining their misfortunes in race 1. Clyde, I'm going to hand over to you, rather. for the feature race, if that's all right.
That's not a problem, and I'll get things underway with the starting grid. So, top 8 reversed for the feature race, which puts Matt Flannery on pole position for Geodesic Racing White, Chris Needham second, RWC Racing Red, Jason Morris in third for iRace Esports, and Carl Hardy fourth. Should Carl Hardy be fourth?
Was that fifth?
Right?
Oh,
No, could be right. Could be right. Anyway, Carl Hardy fourth, safeguard by result. Fifth, Arnaud Chenonnier, RWC Racing Red, and Jamie Wilson is in sixth. Matt Elmore is seventh. Simon Trendle eighth. Jason Haddington in ninth. Sam Blees with work to do in 10th. JB Dejoux in 11th, and Roger Morton in 12th. In 13th is Stephen Walker, 14th Spencer McCarthy, 15th Tony Walker, 16th Andrew Littler, 17th Stefan Goebel. One word answer, Alan. Is it going to happen again?
I say no, because I've got complete confidence and faith in the guys who have sorted out their first race problems, and they'll have sorted it now, and they know what they're doing, and they'll just ooze through there without any difficulties whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. The guys do learn quickly, but we are about to go green for the 60-minute feature race. Some big drivers. Got some big work to do from further down in the grid. But Matt Flannery is going to take us away. Cars are already spreading out. Arnaud Chenonnier is looking feisty before we've even started.
Yes, and we've got...
Jamie Wilson got a cracker of a start and got into Carl Hardy. Luckily didn't turn him. We're only 4 wide into turn 1.
Break here, isn't he? Look at this. So car straight in second.
Bumping and banging. Chris Needham into Jamie Wilson, into Matt Elmore. Luckily side-to-side contact. No. That wasn't side-to-side.
Oh, a little bit of action at the back.
Side the wall.
Everyone's got through.
That was Chris Needham.
They had a position right at the front. It's not going well for Chris's team.
Well, Matt Flannery is still in the lead, but Carl Hardy is hot on his heels, and Arnaud Chenonnier as well. Having
doing really well.
Great race, yeah. Oh, somebody else gone off there. All I see was blue and white, so that'll be another one of the RWC cars. Guessing that was Jason Haddington, that is a guess.
Jason's back in 12, so would have been at the back there. Had a really excellent drive in the first race.
Yeah, Simon Trendle's up a couple of places to 6th, Stephen Walker in 8th, Spencer McCarthy 9th, Sam Blee still down in 13th. Chris Needham and Jason Haddington have had to hit the pit lane, and I don't think Stefan Goebel took the start.
Chris Needham's in the pits.
I literally just looked up and something had happened to Arnaud Chenonnier after that fantastic start. Hopefully Sam will be able to show us that again. I saw the back end of that with him going slow. Not quite sure what happened. Spencer McCarthy. He's gone again.
These corners are reaping damage. Now, I had a hard time in practice going around this just to see what it was like, but I'm surprised to see the guys having these issues.
Oh yeah.
It's the curb again, you know.
Well, yeah, he took too much speed, didn't he? And then had to come back across that lump of a curb.
That curb's unsettling a lot of cars.
Sorry, I had to rejoin because that was Vaseline Corner.
Yeah. I didn't. But we're a few laps in this time, Pete. I didn't expect to see it still working. I thought somebody might have scooped it off by now.
Yeah. I am going to leave you again properly this time, but I was watching as I was sorting out stuff.
That was the Jason Addington accident.
Is that Jay's? Oh.
Yeah, it looked all on his own. And it looked more of a side slap than anything else.
He's okay.
He may have got away with it. Just a little.
It should be all right.
Back wheel, then front wheel, wasn't it? So
yes.
Potential there for some suspension damage.
Fingers crossed he's okay. I've seen people have worse looking hits and drive away from it.
This is the Chris Needham incident. He got on that curb and then just couldn't turn it back again.
The car stayed on him, didn't it? Just nothing happened. I bet he was on his wheel, but nothing much was happening there.
And then this was the one where I see Arno going slow.
Why has he lost his pace? Why, he's got his pace there still. He's just
yeah, it was just there. That was literally where I caught it.
He didn't get a slowdown, did he? Or it looks like did it look like a connection issue to you?
Well, it certainly looked like he was getting rid of a slowdown. I must admit that. I think we've all been there where, you know, you're trying to eke it down, and this is where he collected Spencer, no fault of his own. Spencer was already sat there. And that
wasn't
really
slowing there. He was just
raced.
Yes, bit of run of bad luck. Really couldn't have done without that. It's tight confines around here, and if somebody's off in front of him, there's very little we can do on the line. And, people will get off the line as quickly as they can, that's for sure. But you know, these cars are coming fast, thick and fast, and there's not a lot of time to get out of the way.
Yeah, David Ayres on the chat. It's a good point. Carl needs to make hay while the sun shines and create a gap before the big boys start trying to catch up. You know, that is a valid point.
I think they already are trying to catch up on.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much of a gap can he make?
I don't think he's.
Well, he's all right at the moment, isn't he? Because Matt Flannery is doing a really good job of bottling everybody else up.
Who's the next? I would say Simon's the next person down that he would be worried about. I think he's shown in the last few weeks that he's got up the pace with Jamie and Matt.
Oh, Jamie was well wide there. That's going to be a slowdown.
So, Simon's less than 2 seconds. I don't think he's dropping Simon, is he?
No, but Simon's still got to get past Matt Elmore, which, from what I saw of the sprint race, that wasn't an easy thing to do. It was only a mistake by Matt on the second from last lap that gave Simon that win.
Right. Yes, and of course, in the normal run of things, it might be that Simon will be thinking to do him in the pits. He's spectacularly good at doing people in the pits, isn't he, when he isn't getting past them on the road?
Well, there is that, yes. And, you know, it's going to have to be a dad joke here. You know, Simon's got 2 Matts in front of him, so he's going to be looking to wipe his feet on them.
Right, it's delightful to see Carl in the front after his mishaps in the first race, where he put himself firmly in front with a great overtaking move. Oh, no, again. Oh, dear me. Oh, I bet that came keen. Oh.
Yeah.
This is not Spencer's favourite track, I suspect.
Well, I was just going to say that Stephen Walker was joining the back of this group. And then Spencer pin it spectacularly and totally break that front suspension.
You know, I really thought Spencer might have a good night tonight. He's so good at car handling normally.
Well, it's probably because he keeps binning us and going out for beers with his boyfriends.
Yeah, well, yes, there you go, there is that. But it doesn't normally stop him being excellent normally, does it? But not tonight. I thought he would be, here and clean up a bucket load of points or something and put yourself right in at the top of the table or something like that. But not to be at the moment.
Yeah, every now and again, and I wouldn't even say it's every season, maybe every other season, every third season, you get one of those weird races, don't you, where the guys that you expect to win, I think normally that because they're so close together, one of them makes a mistake and it literally takes out all of the front runners, and then you get, some unexpected results from drivers that, although try their hearts out week in, week out, they just can't seem to catch a break and get a decent result. And then, boom, somebody who normally finishes 10th, he's on the podium, and you're like, whoa, where did that come from?
Well, Matt's really trying hard now, but I was stout defending by Mr. Flannery.
Yeah, Stephen Walker was on the back of this group almost, but I think probably had to brake a bit when Spencer was having his moment. So he's just dropped off the back again, but he'll soon be back in this battle. And we're only almost 10 minutes in.
Okay, is that almost so much has happened? Goodness me, we've had a race's worth of incident. Heavens. Well, Simon's definitely dangerous, isn't he? It's lurking there and
yeah, but
I think if he was worried about Cole getting away so much, I think he would be making great strides to do something about it. I think
Carl is getting away.
Yeah.
Last time I looked at the lead, it was 1.7 seconds. It's now 2.3.
Yeah. Yeah. Simon doesn't seem to be pressing the way I think he could. Well, you said that Matt's on the edge, isn't he? I suppose actually Matt Flannery's doing a heck of a job of bottling this, corking this bottle, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I think the tyres are now up to temp and pressure. As we see, that was Sam Blees making a move on. Is that Tony?
Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Walker and Roger just got right.
Yeah, there was a number of drivers on that last lap, sorry Alan, that set their fastest lap of the race.
It was JB just in front of it as well, look. So Roger's gapping Tony. That's good to see. Obviously got a good pace and survived without any damage. If Tony could stay with him, that'd be great.
Sam Blees up to 8th position. Sorry, T-Bone Blees, I have to call him that.
He'll be, yes, I don't think that's a big enough gap to see him. He's still in contention here.
Yeah, Jamie Wilson just had a little mistake.
You know how Sam Blees loves a chase. When he gets the bee in his bonnet on one of these chases, he's pretty well nigh unstoppable, I think. So I'll be very interested to see how he manages this gap, see how much he can pull back and how quickly. I'll be watching his fuel. So, did Jamie give way to Simon? Is that a team thing, do you think? Because Jamie's been driving so well the last couple of weeks. He's been in a real purple patch in his career, I would say, the way he's been driving. Incredible results, incredible performances, really.
Yeah, I'm assuming Simon Trendle has got his VR sorted. Hence,
Yes, he's got his new VR hat and everything, and he's back in full function. Yeah, we've had the word. It's good news. But of course, Jamie's lost the voice in his ear, which he was using to such good effect.
I'm pretty sure that Simon is still in his ear. So we see Simon get past. Oh, I've missed a few things there. I've missed Matt Elmore and Simon Trendle getting past Matt Flannery whilst busy typing messages to Mr. Bingham. So let's see what these two can do.
Well, Matt did incredibly well to stave off Matt and Simon, didn't he? You know, he's been staving them off for a very long way. And
yeah, it doesn't get easier, does it? Because he's now got Jamie Wilson and Stephen Walker that are going to be crawling all over the back of him. So.
Honestly, there's no let up in this field. The grid is just laden with fast drivers. And not only that, they're all experienced racers. They're all really good at car handling and know how to overtake. So I don't want to see any of these people behind me. Unfortunately, it never happens.
It does when they're lapping, yeah?
Yes, that yes. Only very briefly though. It's like a flash in the mirror and gone. Normally they pass me before I even know they're there. Except the smart ones are giving me a shout. You know, they give me a shout. Tell me to warn me they're coming in case I'm nodded off halfway through the lap. Very courteous of them, very nice, friendly. Yeah, Kylie's dodged some knocking in 115s. Really good lap. Really great pace today by Jason. And keep it on the road. Because you're doing some really great time, and it's fantastic to see.
Yeah, well, Matt Elmore has already made a 0.6 of a second inroad into Carl Hardy's lead.
That's interesting.
So I'm not sure whether that was a mistake from Carl.
Yes, that surprises me a bit because Carl's. Oh, hello.
Oh, well, that was
Tony.
Tony Walker going wide. Stephen Walker now putting pressure on Jamie Wilson, which is going to relieve a little bit of pressure. Not that he's had any yet, but it's going to be a sight for sore eyes in his rearview mirror for Matt Flannery. Letting these two battle out whilst he tries to tag onto the back of Simon Trendle.
There's such there's interest all the way down the field. I'm looking, there's Roger and JB and Tony's driving next really well. He's been, in the last couple of weeks, he's really shown himself well and been there on the pace. Because these guys are all on the pace. It's fantastic. And, the lap times are so close right down the field.
And the lap times at the moment, Matt Elmore still taking time out of Carl Hardy, not as much on that previous lap.
I would have said that Carl's got the pace to stay in front of Matt.
Well, yeah.
He's been out qualifying him regularly, and he's been beating him in the races as well.
Maybe Carl is trying to be a little bit clever and save some of his tyres until Matt gets to him. You never know.
Didn't sound like Carl, does it?
No, I was going to say this is going to sound really horrible, but I don't think Carl's clever enough to do that.
Well, he's clever enough. He just he chooses not to.
Just flat out Hardy.
Yes, He likes to race. And as we've said, these guys don't recognise the difference between a 30-minute sprint race and an hour-long feature race.
No, Simon Trendle has just put in the fastest lap of the race.
Sam has just done a fast lap as well. They're all turning them on now.
Oh, can't you look?
Yeah, they're all finding their pace.
But we know, not purely because he's wide and eats a lot, but we know Carl isn't easy to pass.
But it's fair. So if somebody's got him for pace and does him, he'll relinquish with good grace.
The worry for Carl, incidentally, Stephen Walker has just got past Jamie Wilson.
Oh, no, that's not an easy pass the way Jamie's driving.
Jamie's battled back there.
Oh, they should have a great battle last week. Jamie was having a great battle. Who was it with? Was it Matt Elmore? Yeah, him and Matt Elmore had a tremendous, almost race-long battle.
Yeah, I think going back to Carl, I think the worry for Carl is we're only a third of the way through this race, and if the other two have genuinely got him on pace, you are not going to defend for 40 minutes.
No, I wouldn't reckon you're defending against Simon anyway.
No, as we see Stephen Walker finally get that job done. No answer back this time for Jamie Wilson.
Well, defend his place hard, but relinquish when he had to.
Yeah,
that's how.
As well.
Wow. Yes, look at that.
Stephen Walker has got some clear track in front of him whilst he chases down Matt Flannery. So.
And JB's got a bit of a gap. He's a bit in no man's land.
Yeah, but he won't mind that. That means he can concentrate on his lines.
Yeah. Got to be better than having Roger breathing down your neck, I'm thinking. Because Roger will be trying very hard. But JB shows some really good pace, doesn't he?
It must be that new paint.
Well, good on him. I think he's been driving really well these last few weeks. I'm the second or two. Very nice to see as well.
Dan Blease is really pushing. You see the rear end of that car moving all over the place.
Well, you know what Sam's like? He'll be really focused and really going hard. He doesn't know any other way, does he, when he's got a chase on? It's the red flag, the red mist rise, and he just goes for it. And he's got fearsome pace, and he's brave as anything in the overtake, so it's not easy to keep him behind you, that's for sure. But, Jamie's been driving so well. I just think he's full of confidence, and he's going to make him work for it every precious second.
Yeah, Carl Hardy seems to have stabilised that gap up the front now, just over a second. Sam Blease trying to put a move on Jamie Wilson. Jamie Wilson's corner, the next one. Can Sam hang with it? Yes, he can. Oh, Jamie sideways there. So place and position gain for Sam Blease up to 6th.
He had to work for that though, didn't he?
He did.
Great driving by the pair of them, really. Certainly getting value for money out of this lot. So his tone is crept up with Roger. He's ready to have another go at Rog. He is.
Yeah, and after me saying that Carl Hardy has stabilised that gap, Matt Elmore's took
another half a second. Right, sounds like Car's got a wheel on the curb, doesn't it? Something like that. Look, oh, 15.2, that's slow. Maximum 14.9.
So, yeah, 14.9s. Simon Trendle has been racking up the 14.9s.
Yeah, that's you can't afford to lose a quarter of a second a lap, can you? He's in the low 15s. But they're getting the toe off him. He's giving them all that toe as well. Well, this bit. It was a little bit of toe, not much.
Well, this
Hello, what's he doing?
Oh, he hasn't found a burger stall, has he?
He's pulled off. What's going on?
That's got to be technical.
Oh, I bet his signal went or something. Oh. Grown. He'll be sending you a message.
Well, he's manually disconnected. Sam Blease is properly trying to cook his tyres.
He'll get back to you and tell us what's happening, I guess. Disappointing. Well, he's had no luck tonight. He's led both races.
No, Sam Blease has pitted. And
really? Well, the famous Sam Blease early pit.
Well, yeah, he's going to be able to get to the end, so
He's probably banking on some clear air, isn't he? He'll have worked it out.
Oh, hello. Andy Littler taking a totally new line there into the pits.
Well done, Andy.
That's one way of shortcutting it.
It
has reconnected, so
it would have been an issue.
Hardware issue to me.
Sure. Well, he's been having terrible issues with his comms, hasn't he? So it sounds like it's. Hello, what was that? That was a car going somewhere it shouldn't, wasn't it? No, was it going in the pits?
Jason Morris.
Jason in the pits.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
So let's see if David Ayres can find out what happened to Carl.
He's had some connection issues, hasn't he? I thought he got that fixed, maybe.
I don't think that was connection because the server didn't drop him, he disconnected.
Right.
Right. It was as if something had gone wrong with his wheel pedals. I don't know if he's in VR.
It's his VR, yeah.
And maybe had to do a quick PC reset to get everything working again.
Well, we've been there with that before, so. I don't know. In the pits, Carl's give it best. Out at the moment.
So Stephen Walker putting a mammoth amount of pressure on Matt Flannery, and you can see the pressure is telling.
I think it's inevitable that Stephen will get past Matt.
Yeah, and I think if I was in Matt's shoes at the moment, with this long to go in the race, I certainly wouldn't do anything different if there was only 5 minutes left. But I'd possibly let Stephen go and then try and tuck him behind him and go with him.
Well, it could certainly save a bit of fuel if nothing else.
Yeah. Or even come into the pits. Instead of losing time trying to defend, get into the pits, get yourself out in clear air, and see if you can bang a couple of quick ones in.
Or maybe he's thinking, this is the best bit of the race for me. I'm going to make the best of it. got really great driver behind me, I can race.
Yeah, it's all well and good racing, but you know, if you are defending and losing time, ultimately it's not going to put you in the position that you want to be at the end of the race.
This is true. But he is defending his podium at the moment.
But again, you're not going to defend for 30 minutes against Stephen Walker.
Well, they've got the pits to come on it very shortly.
Like I say, if there was 5 minutes to go, I'd be going, go on, Matt, you defend, you know, make that car sideways, you know, to make it as wide as possible. But at this point in the race, I think Matt Flannery should be thinking long term.
Well, we'll have to see how his strategy works out.
Yeah, and
at the moment,
you know,
he's defending his podium.
You know, he's not even, you know, bottling somebody up to let a teammate run away up the front, because he is the leading geodesic racer tonight.
He's one of these guys who just goes faster when he's being chased. I am.
Yeah, again, could be. So yeah, David Ayres has said that Carl's VR black screened. I think that's probably more Carl's eyes black screened because he hadn't had a burger for 7 minutes.
7 minutes?
Yeah, he had a beef blackout.
Yeah, well, he's back on the track because he's an absolute trooper.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. We always get that with Carl, don't we? He doesn't, you know. A lot of people will have a bad thing happen to him and quit and run away with the ump, but not Carl. There's still points out there on that table.
He will be out there trying to make places. So, that's for sure.
Walker, we see get past Matt Flannery, so that puts him up into third. Now, this is what I was saying. This is where Matt needs to be clever and just try and go with Stephen Walker. You know, why is Stephen Walker quicker than me? Well, let's find out. I'm behind him now. You might not be able to replicate what he can do with the car, but at least you'll know the areas that he is quicker, and it gives you something to work on in the future.
Yeah, there's wisdom there, but I can never stay up with him long enough to actually learn any of it.
Yeah, that is the other side of the coin, isn't it? Yeah. I've tried that, my own tactics, you know, what I'm preaching a couple of times, no more than a couple of times, a couple of 100 times in V8 racing, and, you know, I'll just let him go and I'll follow him and see where he's quicker, and like, I don't know, a quarter of a lap later he's 5 seconds ahead of me, and you're like, yeah, that didn't really work.
Well, he's faster than me there, he's faster than me there, faster than me there, running out of places to be faster.
And there's the one point on the track where you go, yes, I'm faster than him here. Ah, wall.
You've been watching me driving, haven't you, again?
I was only quicker than him because I missed my braking point by 100 metres.
Well, it looks to me like Simon is back with a bang.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way, doesn't it? But I did admittedly miss a lot of that first race. But the bit that I saw, Simon, I wouldn't say he was struggling to get past Matt, but Matt was being very, very difficult to get past, and in the end it took that mistake from Matt to give Simon the win. So you know, it sounds simple, but you know, Matt Elmore's job here is to do differently to what he did in race 1, and that ultimately was making a mistake, so he's got to try not to make a mistake, and he's gone into the pit, so this could be interesting now.
Well, you know, this pit lane doesn't give people a chance to actually come in. If you know, you can do a late trip into the pits, can't you? And just commode somebody who's behind you might prefer to follow you in. So
the worry
he came in there late and quick, didn't he?
Yeah, the worry here is Simon Trendle has got a clear track in front of him.
Yes. Well, he's put down already, like you can see. He'll be going as fast as he possibly can. And that's pretty quick. It is. I don't know how this could have worked out better for Simon, really, you know.
No, I suppose in hindsight, Matt would think he should have maybe stayed out. But let's see how it pans out.
Yeah, we just don't know. But
Always,
of course, we don't want to know, do we? It's exciting not knowing.
Exactly, yeah. You know, Simon pushing like Billy O. He's probably got, I guess it's 3 or 4 laps maybe in the tank where he could facilitate the pass in the pit lane. But you know,
he's got a clear track in front of him, he'll be making the best use of it, won't he? If he's got no traffic, he's going to just be pushing as long as he can. If he encounters traffic, he'll probably go in the pits.
Yeah, but you know, going flat out, we've seen some of the best drivers in the league make mistakes already tonight. So
yeah, I was certainly on this track. It's entirely possible, but yeah, I was just about to say then Simon's the last person you'd expect to make those kinds of errors, but I've seen other people making those errors I wouldn't expect to. So there you go. Yeah.
Tony Walker in the pits.
I don't like that pit entry. That's a scary old thing. You have to be on your toes. It's almost enough to wake me up.
Yeah, it's a last minute thing, isn't it?
It certainly is.
David Ayres is about to get beat up by his wife because he hasn't made her a cup of tea.
Oh, David. Poor Mary, she's gasping.
Right, Simon Trendle now has traffic just up the road.
That's Stephen going in the pits behind him.
Yeah, it certainly is. Good spot.
It was closer than I thought. I didn't realise it was quite that near, so that's going to be an interesting battle when the pit stops have gone through, because I think Simon and Stephen are going to be close enough to be racing, aren't they? I think, hopefully.
Yeah, well, Simon's last lap was a 14.9.
Ooh, crikey, it's flying. Yeah. He's got a light car, and we know that they go well when the tyres are starting to wear. So this is probably as well as his car is going to go in the whole race, and he's making good use of it.
Yeah, he's still got a little bit of a gap in front. I think if I was Simon, I would probably attempt to go for another lap. Yeah, there he goes. See what this lap is. 15.1.
Wow, that's he should be in the 14s. He wants to be in the 14s, really.
That was absolute rubbish, wasn't it, Alan?
Yeah, he wants to be in the 14s. Trying to lose Caliber.
Okay, JV Dejoux was briefly in second place, but he's now in the pits.
Okay, he's got Matt. Matt's not inside. It's Matt going in the pits. Goodness me, he's doing 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simon's still over.
He's doing 15s. Yeah, Matt's doing 15s again already. So it doesn't matter about his fuel load. He's still doing really good lapping. But he was popping in the 14s before, so I'd expect him to soon get back to that.
Simon Trendle is in.
Okay, so it's all on this. Let's see what happens. It's going to pop out in between Matt and Stephen.
I think Simon has possibly just done enough to come out in the lead. He's rolling in pit lane.
He's absolutely mustard at getting every last second out
Away
of
he
this
goes.
Oh, he's in front. Oh, he's got clear air. Well, that's pretty much what I expected. Oh, what I wasn't expecting was to see Roger just there. So is Roger not pit stopped yet?
No, Roger's been in.
Has he? Oh, well, in that case, he's doing very well. Nice to see. In the same shot as the leader coming out of the pits.
Well, David Ayres says he got away with it, so there has been no bloodshed in the Ayres household yet tonight.
That's lucky. That's lucky. I thought it was going to be 999. But they still dial 999.
I don't know. Can you text it or WhatsApp it or whatever they do these days?
What's up? Lovely. Have you got that WhatsApp app? I've got it. Oh, hello. And we are teammates together. They remind me of those chocolate biscuits you used to get in the silver foil wrappers when you were a kid. With red and blues, they were just that colour. Christmas biscuit.
Yeah, what were they called? They weren't Viscounts, were they? They were the... I think they had like a green foil on them, Viscounts.
Yeah, they were green, weren't they?
Yeah.
Were they the minty ones?
Yeah, I think they were, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't make biscuits like they used to, Alan.
It's a sad decline of civilization, Clyde, I'm afraid.
Remember my dad saying things like that? I have officially turned into my dad.
I turned into mine some time ago. I even wear the same clothes that he did.
2/3 in now, Alan. 20 minutes to go. It's got that done and dusted feel about it, hasn't it? First place.
Well, Simon's got to hold his nerve and not make any errors, because Matt is fast, but he's got a gap to chase now. But Stephen is, 6 seconds down on Simon? So let's see if Stephen can make an impression on that. And Sam is going to be trying very hard to make an impression on Stephen. It's, the gaps are there at the front, but they're small.
Yeah.
They're manageable, fightable over gaps, aren't they? And look, the times are very close.
I don't think anybody think this is Simon's race to lose.
Yes, I would agree with that for sure.
Matt, I don't think, has got the pace to catch him. Possibly Stephen, possibly Sam have, but they've got Matt in front of him, in front of both of them. And by the time they get past Matt, if they do manage to get past Matt, then Simon's going to be gone. So I think the battle now is for second and third.
Okay. We've got 20 minutes.
We've got it's about 18 minutes to go.
Oh, how many laps is that? Where are we? 1 minute 15. So still quite a lot of laps.
Oh yeah.
I think there's a lot could happen yet. But you're right, it has got settled. Nobody will be surprised if it came in 1, 2, 3 with Simon, Matt, and Stephen, would it like that? But
no.
Sam is there and he's still in contention, so I would never count Sam Blees out. He'll be trying very hard to catch Stephen and race him.
Yeah, and I think, ultimately that's what may secure second for Matt. Okay,
Good
so
point. Yes, good point.
Carl again.
Yay! Well done, my captain. What an hero.
He's still having issues, mate. Still having issues.
Oh, he's in the wall.
Actually, that was like a magic trick. Can we see that again, Sam? Exactly the same angle. Literally, as he hits the wall, he goes up in a puff of smoke and disappears.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Just watch, it's great. This is like Carl Hardy, the magician. Get ready for the puff of smoke and a disappearing act. Get ready.
Boom. That's like special effects on the movies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Save that clip. There was such where the smoke went at the end. It was like a special effect. James Bond. Or bloody Harry Potter or something.
Or even Back to the Future.
Yes, indeed. Well, that's the young Jensen, whatever it was. No, DeLorean, wasn't it? A DeLorean.
Yeah.
Yes. I would rather have Jensen himself, FF.
I wouldn't mind a Jensen Interceptor if I'm honest, but
I always liked the FF because they had that incredible four-wheel drive system.
Yeah.
But either way, I wouldn't mind in either room really, as long as you didn't mind the outhouse window roasting to death in the back window. What a piece! In the car when not many cars did 140 miles an hour. They were there. Beautiful, very beautiful cars. I doubt any of these people listening remember what they look like, half these people.
No, probably not. Probably not.
Look up a Jensen Interceptor and feast your eyes. I did when I was about 12, 14, I think. Well, this is great because Jason's having a really good race here. And he's giving Carly plenty to fight over. These two are having a real good go at it. Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, and unfortunately, Jason just backed out.
Oh!
Well done, kept it together.
Yeah, no, really good driving, good racing.
But he's now in an RWC sandwich.
But, you know, last week, Jason did the most incredible blocking job on Stefan. So long, you won't believe it. He'd be able to keep somebody out of the Sebring for so long, but he did. Frustrated Stefan. But Jason's got by him really sweetly and smartly there. That's a good bit of driving. So Chris is going to have to come by now, isn't he? Chris has definitely got the pace here as well. I would think. Yeah. Ooh. I don't know. Jason's looking a bit ragged.
What's happened to Jamie Wilson? He's down in 7th behind JB Dejeu. I don't know if Sam's got anything on Jamie.
Oh no, he's way back, so something's happened, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's over 3 seconds behind JB.
Yes, no, definitely something happened there.
Have a look, see if Sam's found something for us. That could be it. That could be it.
Will be that, indeed.
That's also going to take him a while to get back to the track.
So simple, and see, he's done all these laps around here, driving really confidently and well, and it just takes slightest touch of that curb, slightest misjudgment by a fraction, and you're in trouble. And there's no escaping this grass. Once you're on it, bang. You speed up, if anything, it's go faster grass.
Chris Needham has also got past Jason Morris.
Yes, they're showing really excellent pace because Jason's been really quick. He has. His lap times have been excellent, so these guys are really showing a good pace. Delighted for Jason. Great to see him doing so well. And Chris is doing doing really well. Yeah, it's good to see them. It's nice to see their team here and competing.
Yeah, just looking further back.
Oh, Jason's got in the pit. So he's only just pitted.
That might be... Is that a second stop, Sam? Seems very, very late for... yeah. And he's disconnected, so something going on there. Yeah, just looking further back, I don't think Sam Blease is really closing in on Stephen Walker. However, he says, Stephen Walker is slowly reeling in Matt Elmore. Matt Elmore is another driver who's difficult to pass. Sam Blease is going to be hoping that Matt Elmore can hold up Stephen Walker long enough to get Sam Blease back into this fight for second place.
Yes. Oh, I think it's far from over. The gaps are closing. It only takes one small error of slow down, a wheel on the grass, to bring those four together in no time. So, I'm not sure it's all been said yet. So, Simon is going to be hard to get past. I don't know how anybody gets past Simon at this point in the game.
And nobody's going to catch Simon, let alone get past.
Yeah, exactly. It just fell so perfectly for him. It's just magic the way it all happened, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, I think Matt just pitted at the wrong time. Literally gave Simon that 2 or 3 laps of clear track to just put the welly down.
Which he duly did, of course.
Exactly, yeah.
So now Matt's got his hands full of Stephen, and that is plenty to have on your hands. If there's one person I know who's got the pace to get past Matt Elmo, it's probably Stephen.
Yeah, well, we're just inside the last 10 minutes.
Plenty of time. How near is Sam? Sam's getting him in sight. If he's getting in sight, that's such a big encouragement.
About 3 seconds back at the moment. He wants these two to slow each other down.
And they might well do. They might well do. I mean, it's quite allowable to ease off on the apex and make it difficult for the chap. And that's going to bring Sam back into it, of course, like you suggested. Hello. Well, there you go. Look at the run he got out of there.
Good done deal. No, that's not what Sam Blease wanted to see.
Well, he carried some pace through there, didn't he? That's awesome driving, Stephen. Goodness me. These guys are amazing. They sit on the edge, all of them. They just drive superbly. Right on the edge. They don't miss apexes.
Yeah, well, don't forget, the Elantra is the fastest thing on 4 wheels, according to everybody, until the Audi screams past it on a straight.
The Elantra isn't the fastest thing on 4 wheels when I'm driving it, Clyde, let me tell you.
We had a number of drivers switch to it during the car change window.
It's good on the curbs, I think.
Wrong car.
I don't think it's as fast on straight line as it doesn't compare as well as it used to, but certainly comfortable on the curbs, I suspect. But yeah, look. It's not gobbling anybody up, is he?
No, I always go. I'm sure Stephen Walker won't mind me mentioning this, but I always go back a few seasons when the Elantra first came out, and everybody jumped on it because it was so overpowered this and so good at that and so good at the other. and Stephen Walker won the championship in a Civic.
Naturally. But the Civic had that when it first came out. It did. It was the Civic this and the Civic that. I remember the furore of everybody. Yes, right. It was interesting how the lines were drawn fairly quickly, because I hopped into the Hyundai the day it came out. Other people hopped into the Civic, and lines were drawn straight away on which car they preferred. I tried them all.
Yeah, I think, when they first came out, that was probably when they were at their best, because I think the Civic was better under braking, and I think the Elantra was better at accelerating, and another one was better on the curbs. And then since that, they ruined it a little bit. But it's nice to see the Audi going well again.
Yes, I do think the car's competitive. We get a good mix of the different makes at the top, don't we? It's not all one make at the top. Now, did you see that? They're all within a tenth or something like that. Ridiculous. They were all absolutely blasting it. The first four were all with it in the same second.
Yeah,
it was a low second. They were all in the 14s.
Yeah, Matt is desperately trying to stay in Stephen's toe, because that's going to hopefully keep him out of the clutches of Sam.
I don't think Sam's going to catch him, is he? Sam's not catching him.
No, we're going to have a battle on for 6th. Jamie Wilson wants 6th place off of JB Dejoux.
Wow, that is... You would have said that was Jamie's to take a short while ago, but I'm not so sure now. JB's been showing fantastic pace just recently. He's really he's found himself a little bit, and he's more of a handful than he was a few weeks ago, I think. That's how quickly he's developed. We're seeing him there at 56. It's like these are really good positions. This is hard to get in 6th place on this in this race. It's very hard. Any kind of a top 10, it takes some doing.
Yeah, we've unfortunately lost Andy Littler because his internet has crashed.
And he's in the hotel in Nottingham.
Well, you could have come round yours and used yours, Alan.
That's right. Well, yeah. He'll come round tomorrow, but too late. Race will have finished, but he could have. But I'm probably using it now, aren't I, to talk to you?
Yeah, you won't be using it a lot.
No, I think we could have done both. I think he's finished his job here now, because we got to get home.
Oh,
Look at those times. Look, 1:14.5, 1:14.5.
Sam Blees.
1:14.3 by Sam. What a cracking lap, Sam. Exactly what I expected to see. Look at him. He's spitting nails trying to catch up with Matt. He's absolutely on it. Everything. That's such a fast lap.
I want to have a look and see.
Well, Sam, no matter what you've done, mate, you've turned in that purple lap, and good on you, because you love a situation like this where you can race like this and go hard for it. And what a chase you're putting up.
Our fastest lap was a 13.9.
So he's just busted that, hasn't he?
No, he's done a 14.
Oh, it's a 14. Oh, so that's interesting. Why do you think that is?
Could be a simple.
Do you think that's the car thing?
Well, it could just be track conditions. Could be warmer than last time we raced here.
Yeah, because you were just saying that they have changed the cars around quite a lot.
Yeah.
I just wonder if with all the mucking around, the actual top speed, because the Mazda's slower. My Mazda's, none of the speeds that everybody's doing, they're all down on the old records that people had. They are. So they've taken top speed away from the Mazda to give it more excitement in the handling department, shall we say. I wonder if,
It's not always a bad thing.
No, the car's better for it. We don't miss the speed, and certainly it's a handful to drive now. And it might be that in the fight to get, because these cars aren't all about our speed, ultimate speed. That half the joy in these cars is that they're front engines and front wheel drive, and you're just going around these incredible corners, and it feels so different in this car. And the response through the force feedback is very singular. It is. There aren't any other cars on iRacing that give you the same force feedback power and force that this one does. Because it's all loaded on the front, you get a huge whack through the force feedback, which makes my hands swell up, but by God, it makes it a lot of fun to drive.
Simon Trendle is on the penultimate lap.
Well, he's come to 3 seconds in hand. Look at Sam, he's got it down to 2.5 seconds. Jamie, is Jamie going to get past JV?
This is going to be the white flag lap. And you're going to get the white flag this time round.
Wow, this is tense. I don't know, JB, you're going to have your work cut out to keep Jamie behind you, but you're a good defensive driver, so just give it your best shot, mate. Oh, there you go, Simon. Did exactly what I expected you to do. Wow. Look at those times. There's not much between them, is there? What, a 10th between them? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Goodness me. 4 drivers and a 10th between them.
So JB's got to hold it together for one more lap.
Yes, he won't be. Well, he'll be glad to see the white flag. He would probably be happy to have seen it in the last lap. Still, I don't get the impression that Jamie's pushing too hard here. He probably wants to finish the race.
Sure.
Well, I'm sure he'll take it if it's offered. But I'm not sure he'd want to risk his
Simon
points.
Trendle is about to take the checkered flag. A double race win this evening. Stephen Morgan comes home second, and another great drive from Matt Elmore takes the 3rd step on the podium. JB and Jamie back to this battle. Jamie's going to try and go around the outside, which is then going to be the inside, then the outside, and he's got it done, but JB's coming back. Well done, both of them.
Wow, exciting stuff.
That's still a fantastic result for JB.
Oh, he's not giving it up. Look. Oh, brilliant racing, guys. Well done. I think it's actually an achievement to get to the end of in a race like this has been today. Here comes Roger.
Yeah.
Top 10 position, 8th. Well done. And Tony, a top 10 position as well. And Chris, a top 10. This is great, It's
certainly a trickier track than it looks, isn't it?
Oh, it just looks a doddle, but the corners are wicked and the curbs can be a disaster. So well done to everybody. It's casualties today, but you've come home, you've brought it home, you've done well.
Everybody over the line. So let's bring you your official result for round 14, the feature race at Sandown. Simon Trendle takes away another win for Team Chimera. Stephen Walker in second for Spectre 6 Purple, and Matt Elmore in third for Spectre 6 Silver. Sam Blees in fourth, Geodesic Racing. Matt Flannery with a great result in fifth for Geodesic Racing White. Jamie Wilson, with his move right at the end there, takes sixth place over JB Dejoux in seventh. Roger Morton was eighth with Tony Walker in ninth. Chris Needham rounded out the top 10 with Jason Haddington in 11th. Then your non-finishers in 12th is Jason Morris, 13th Andy Littler, 14th Carl Hardy, 15th Spencer McCarthy, and 16th Arnaud Chenonnier. We don't believe Stefan Goebel took the start. So, let me just save what little replay I've got anyway, but we'll get it saved. Excellent. So yeah, some not strange results. That's the wrong word. Some uncharacteristic mistakes tonight, Alan.
Yes, which had a profound effect on the way the race is shaped up and panned out. With people we're expecting at the front suddenly find themselves out of position in the middle or at the rear of the race. And giving people that were normally, around the middle towards the front, sticking them right at the front at the sharp end.
Yeah, definitely. And Simon Trendle back with a bang.
Things fell just perfectly for Simon today, but he knows how to make that car go fast. And when Matt came into the pits and he still had 3 laps of fuel, you just knew what was going to happen. He was pedal to the metal, some peerless laps, just when he needed it. He had clear track in front and came out from the pit stops in the lead, just heading Matt. And it had a feeling of inevitability about it, and I didn't think once Simon. I thought as soon as Matt went into the pits, I thought Simon's going to win the race, and there was no stopping him once he got into the front.
Right, okay, so let's get these interviews underway, and let's bring in first let's welcome him back first. Simon Trendle, welcome back.
Yeah, evening. It's been a while.
So a double race win tonight. Race 1, it wasn't as easy as you getting to the front and running away with it, was it? Matt Elmore there put up a hell of a defence, and it was only a mistake on the penultimate lap that gifted you the win. Is that fair to say?
Well, the mistake definitely gifted me the win from Matt Elmore. I wouldn't have passed him without that. But before that, just about everyone in front of me on the grid had gifted me that position as well, through being taken out, having crashes. Just this, I didn't win that on pace. That was given to me.
Yeah, but second race was a bit different, wasn't it? You was hounding Matt again. Matt pitted and basically gave you 3 clear track laps to really put some fast times in, and we were sort of saying in commentary, in hindsight, Matt may look back and think, what, I shouldn't have pitted then, I shouldn't have given Simon that clear track, because we was heading for another battle, wasn't we, where he was difficult to get past, but ultimately pitting when he did, he gave you all the advantages that you needed to get out in front and stay in front.
Yeah, if he just stayed out, I'd just sat behind him and saved more fuel, because that's all I've been doing for the first stint. Mainly was while we were stuck behind Matt Flannery. I was just lifting and coasting a lot. Once we got past that, we sort of chased off after Carl. I don't know what happened to Carl. Actually, he just stopped on the track.
VR blackout.
Ah, right. Yes. I shouldn't mock because it's been a month and I've only just got mine back literally today. I'd just say more fuel behind him, and that would have probably cut out another litre in the pit stop, which would have been half a second or so. So I don't know how much faster my extra laps were, but I don't know. I just wanted to run on low fuel because why not? And the tyres are nice and warm. We're not going to change them, so there's no benefit. So run as long as possible, as long as I don't hit traffic.
Yeah, well, ultimately, 2 race wins, with you coming back after your VR issues. So, you must be happy to be back on the horse, back in the saddle, and back up the front there. So, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yes, I guess to Jamie for holding up Stephen, which did give me an extra couple of seconds into the race there, which was quite handy. So rather than panicking, it was all under control. You guys for the broadcast and the league, everyone who joins the league, obviously it's great fun. And if I can do half as good as that on Saturday in the V8s, I'll be very happy.
Yes.
I wish you well.
Back to the big boy toys on Saturday.
Yes, we can go sideways in those.
Excellent. Well, so congratulations on getting back and getting back to the top, Simon Trendle.
Cheers.
Well done.
Okay, so
double race win. Goodness me.
Next up, I want to talk to Matt Elmore. Welcome to the booth.
Good evening. It feels like it's been a long time.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say to you that this season, after last season and losing out on the championship by, was it 4 points? Sorry, I don't mean to rub it in, but I know it was really, really close.
I've erased it from my memory.
It's back. It's a bit like when you get one of those nude pics of Alan come through the post. Everybody's had one.
I like them.
You can't ever unsee that. But this is going to sound very critical, and it's not meant to. I was expecting big things from you this season. I thought you was going to push on from last season, but it's been a bit of a struggle, hasn't it?
It was the Audi. I was over half a second slow around here, and I was about 3/4 of a second fast. No, half a second faster again round Sebring in the Elantra. I just didn't gel with the Audi at all. Really, really struggled fighting every single lap. And as I said in my message, I'll go back in the OP Elantra, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of fortune in that, but yeah, a lot better pace.
Yeah, again, let's rub a bit of salt into the wounds. Should have been a win in race 1.
Oh, don't. Yeah. I made that mistake. I outbraked myself. To be fair, I thought I was going to go in the sand and pick up the kitty litter and hit the wall, but I managed to stop it, and there was no point of even coming back to try and defend. It was, that was race over. All I had to do was keep it on the track, and I think I could have got the win and held off.
Yeah, Simon said, without that mistake, he wouldn't have got past you. And then, race 2, it was, everything was rosy, and then all of a sudden you got all the big boys around you again. Those guys that you was battling for wins with last season. But, third place to Simon Trendle and Stephen Walker is not shabby in any car, is it?
No. Well, no matter what.
Ultimately, I know you're not in the championship in a way you was last season, but a massive haul of points for you tonight. So you've got to be happy with that, and got to be thinking, do you know what? I'm back in the car that I like. I might be able to give them something for the rest of this season.
Yeah, just not next weekend. Next Wednesday, sorry.
Next Wednesday. Where are we next Wednesday?
I'm probably going to be sat here watching the stream.
Oh no, no. Oh no! Oh God! I've just seen it. I'm glad I'm not here next Wednesday either.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And I'm not even racing it. Yeah. Well, I'm fairly sure that you'll take part.
I'll take part. I'm just quite confident I'll crash.
Well, I tell you
Where's
what.
the race at? Come on, enlighten me, because I haven't looked.
Nürburgring.
What, the GP?
No.
Nordschleife.
Really?
I seem to remember
goodness me.
Yeah, I seem to remember it was either last year or the year before, or last season or the season before, shall I say. Myself and Carl were absolutely awful at it, and we kind of like tootled around at the back about 10, 15 seconds slower than anyone else. And I had the slowest 180 spin I've ever seen in my life. And then about half a lap later, Carl did exactly the same, and we were just awful. So I don't hold up much hope to see the checkered flag on that one.
Well, we shall see. Anyway, after those results, are there any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, thanks to everyone that crashed so that I could get my podiums. And great racing, Simon. Like I say, multi-21 for old Mr. Lucky Walker there, because he's right up there. And well done for his brother, Mr. T Walker. He seems to be picking up pace quite well now, getting on with the car.
Yeah, he certainly does. Another top 10 tonight. Well, congratulations from us for a couple of great results, and I'm sure we'll see you next time out, and let's see if you can go better than you normally do. Matt Elmore.
Nice one. Cheers, lads.
Well done, Matt.
Cheers, mate.
You was caught up in it?
So on the first lap, Spencer crashed in front of me at the back of the track at the end of that long straight into the left-hander. He spun in front of me. I couldn't avoid him, hit him, put my wheels out of alignment, went around the next lap and did exactly the same as he did, but even more aggressively. I hit one tyre wall on the left and then flung into the wall on the other, and then iRacing being iRacing, it wouldn't let me back out, so I just reset to the pits, and luckily a few other people crashed in front of me. Otherwise, I would have just been 15th or 16th. I was no way I was going to catch anyone on such a small track in such a small amount of time. It never done that in any practice session I'd done, so I don't know why it happened, and I was very angry with myself for letting it happen.
Yeah, that obviously that can be an issue, and the red mist comes down, and I think being angry with yourself is worse than being angry with other drivers, because you can normally guarantee another mistake once you get angry with yourself. But race 2, that was a different story, wasn't it? Where did you start? Something like, well, you must have been 13th, because you finished 13th. And to get up to second, I know there was a couple of drivers that helped you on the way, and obviously Matt was just telling us that he was way faster than you, but agreed to the multi-21 because you're in the championship. But you know, it was a great race from you. You had some really good pace. There was a couple of times when I looked at you coming through, and I'm like, well, he's 3 seconds behind the next car. He's not going to catch them. And then I'd look again, and you was right behind them. And it seemed, I don't think he was totally under control, because we did see your car, wild on a few occasions, but you certainly managed to carry the pace through that race.
Yeah, I was, like I say, I was driving a bit angry. Obviously, I tried to just be cool at the start of the race and try and stay out of trouble. I mean, I was really lucky. I think with everything that happened in front of me, I went from 13th to 8th after the first lap, and then some more people had issues, and I was 6th after the second lap, and then we were just going around, and I was just trying to bridge the gap to the top 5. and Spencer came out of the pits and crashed in front of me again, unluckily for him. So I avoided him, but then that meant the gap was bigger. I did manage to make it up, but obviously making it go from 1 to 3 seconds just meant it took more time. So I might have been closer to Simon at the end, but he drove really well and obviously deserved that win. It was well, both of them wins really. So quite a return, but yeah, obviously I'm happy finishing second. I was in front of Sam, so the gap points wise should roughly stay about the same. I think it might go swing in his favour by a couple of points just because of the incident points, but it's what I've got to be wary of now. Is the only way I'm going to catch him is by finishing in front of him, and I keep not capitalising on his mistakes.
Well, there's still a few races left, so I'm sure, as per usual, this one's going to go all the way to the wire. We are having a few technical issues still, so I'm going to, whilst we can, ask you for your shout-outs, Mr. Walker.
Yeah, obviously you guys for putting it on. Matt for it's like
Some entertaining racing tonight, Stephen. Like I say, it was. I do like watching a driver that looks out of control but isn't. So congratulations on that, and we'll see you next time out.
Yeah.
cheers, guys. Thank you.
Well done, Stephen.
Okay, so unfortunately, Alan. Oh no, we're back again. We're back again.
We're back again.
We've already spoken to Sam. Apologies to Matt Flannery, but we're having too many sound issues, so we're going to try and get this wrapped up as quickly as we can. So, Alan, driver of the meeting.
Well, that's really quite difficult, I think. There's some, really interesting performances, different kind of drives. We had a double winner, and it's very hard. It's very hard to look beyond such a fantastic return by Simon. So he's going to scoop it tonight.
Okie dokie. So a vote for Simon Trendle. You're absolutely right, Alan. You know, after missing a few weeks and then coming back and getting a double win, I should vote for Simon, but I'm not going to because I never do because he won. I am going to give my vote straight to Matt Elmore. Nice to see him back up there towards the top, and 2 fantastic results tonight. So my vote to Matt Elmore. I don't know whether we can hear Sam or not. I'm hoping we can, but maybe. If we... Oh, no, we can.
Sam.
So for you, Sam, your driver of the evening.
I will go for Simon. No question asked.
Okay, another vote for Simon. That was nice and easy. Okay, so that was rounds 13 and 14. Coming up in the next week on BSTV. So what, let me put the calendar on October, then I'll know what we're doing. So Saturday, as we said earlier on, we are back in the big boy toys with the Simability V8 ESC rounds 12 and 13 from the, I always find tricky, Indianapolis road course. It's going to be a 90-minute race.
2 laps then.
Let's see if anybody can finish it. I Sam is posting me messages. We are in and out of sound at the moment. So I think, Alan, what we should do is wrap this broadcast up, because a lot of this at the end is not going to make any sense to anybody whatsoever. So big thanks to Pete for starting it off because I was late, to Sam for doing the cameras, and to Alan for joining us in the booth as usual. Big thanks to everybody on the chat, all the drivers, for making it a fantastic race. I should say goodnight. Let the other guys say goodnight, and then we'll close and let Sam pull his hair out trying to sort out these technical issues. So good night, everybody. Thanks for watching and stay safe.
Good night, folks. It's been a pleasure to be here, and thanks very much.